Okay, so get ready because today we're taking a deep dive into something a little different.
Oh,
Yeah, we're going to be talking about dating
okay.
and more specifically, like how age plays into, attraction and dating and all that.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's we've all heard that age is just a number, right?
Right.
But the stuff we've been looking at for this deep dive suggests that it might be a bit more complicated than that.
Really?
Yeah, there's some pretty interesting observations in here about, how old you are and how that affects who you're attracted to and who's attracted to you.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, and we're going to, try to figure out why, like what's behind those patterns.
Sounds fascinating. What kind of stuff have you been reading?
So it's actually, it's kind of a mix of like articles and even some snippets from like advice columns and stuff.
Okay.
But the thing is, it's like it seems lighthearted on the surface.
Yeah.
But when you really dig in, it brings up some pretty deep questions about like, what society expects and biology and just like, choices people make in their lives.
Oh, I see. So we're going below the surface.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's this one part it talks about Mother Nature and Father Time. And I think those metaphors are kind of hinting at like this bigger picture that we're going to try to like piece together.
Okay. I like where this is going.
Okay, so to kick things off, the big idea here, like the main claim in a lot of this stuff, is that, guys in their 30s, they're actually seen as more attractive by women than guys who are in their 20s.
Oh, that's interesting.
But then for women, it's the opposite.
So women in their 20s are?
Yeah. They're considered like more attractive than women in their 30s. So why do you think that is? Like, what's going on there?
Well, I think, we could look at this from like a biological perspective.
Correct.
Like, women are most fertile in their 20s.
Right. And there's actually been research on this showing that men, like across different cultures, they tend to find women in that age range the most attractive.
Interesting.
So biology might be playing a role here.
Makes sense. But then the source material also talks about men like building themselves in their 20s.
Building themselves.
Yeah. What do you think that means?
Well, it seems like it's hinting at societal expectations. Right?
Okay, yeah.
I mean, to think about it, like in movies and stuff, the romantic lead is often like a successful guy, he's in his 30s.
Yeah.
There's this idea that, men, they need to establish their careers, become financially stable, mature a bit, like before they're seen as like a good catch.
So it's not just looks for men, right?
Right, exactly. It's more about what they've accomplished, like, are they stable? Can they provide?
Yeah. But don't you think those expectations are kind of changing, though?
Oh, in what way? Well, I mean, more and more women are like killing it in their careers now.
That's true.
So like it makes you wonder if those dating patterns, if they're shifting too as gender roles change.
That's a really good point.
Like, will it always be like this?
It'll be interesting to see how things evolve, for sure.
Totally. Okay, so there's this one line from the source that really stuck with me. It says, "Beautiful women will always be there."
Beautiful women will always be there. That's a pretty loaded statement.
Yeah.
Like, on the one hand, it could just be, like a simple observation or even like a piece of advice, maybe.
Yeah.
But it also makes you think, like, what are we really assuming about beauty here?
Yeah.
Like, what do we consider beautiful?
And how do those standards change as women get older?
Right.
Exactly. Like, think about how aging is portrayed so differently for men and women, especially in the media.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like a guy with gray hair, he's distinguished, but a woman with gray hair, she's supposed to cover it up.
It's a double standard.
Totally. So it makes you wonder, like, how much of what we find attractive is actually real attraction versus like just stuff we've been conditioned to think?
That's a great question. And it's a question for all of us, really, not just people of a certain age.
So we've talked about some possible explanations for these age and dating patterns.
Yeah.
But what about you guys listening? Like, does any of this resonate with you?
Yeah. Have you noticed similar patterns in your own lives?
Or even just like, observing other people?
As you think about this, I want you to consider something. How might these dating dynamics change, as our ideas about gender roles keep changing? I mean, we're living in a time where things are evolving so quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
And chances are these patterns of attraction are going to keep shifting right along with everything else.
Absolutely. And remember, this is just a starting point,
Right, this is just a taste.
It's a super complex topic.
Layers and layers to unpack.
So keep thinking about it,
Keep asking questions.
and see where your own thoughts take you.
Exactly.
All right, that's it for today's deep dive. See you next time.
See ya.